Hello everyone. This is the beginning of a series of me reading a book, The Age of Svoboda. It takes place in a fantasy world, the map of which is currently on the screen, and it came from a desire to tell a story when DMing wasn't quite fulfilling it. And I ran a campaign in this world, and then I wrote a book about it. I am still currently in the process of writing the book. But I decided I might as well start posting videos of me reading the chapters. So, here is chapter 1. Also, I should credit my girlfriend for assisting me in writing this. Chapter 1. Prologue. The calm winds rolled over the hills, and Aelfred drank deep from his mug of tea in his iron chair in front of his wooden cottage. A man at the young age of 45 moved out of his burrow in the city of Dubinwater barely a month ago, and was still getting settled. He was constantly working, getting things set up in his shack in the hills, and it drained everything from him. But the sweet, fresh air of the hills called to him, rejuvenated him, making the hustle and bustle worth it. He had come from the stifling city of Dubinwater, which was choked by the dwarven industries of brewing and smithing, and it was generally a city which was very stubborn to Aelfred's relatively free way of life. Ever since he was a child, he always wished to see the surface in a context other than going with his father on guard duty. He always heard tales of mighty warriors who would go on expeditions to destroy dark features outside of the city, and he wanted to be like that. He, however, never had enough money to go out into the world. Until the elves came. They were conquering their way across the entire world, until they set their eyes on Drintaran, the kingdom which once ruled Dubinwater. No dwarf in the city knew they were coming, so when they landed on the shores in their magnificent green ships, the fisher dwarves thought that this meant a forceful military campaign, and ran immediately to inform Gold the Queen about the invasion. After hearing this, she set an enormous effort to start conscription. Every able-bodied dwarf who volunteered into the army would get a personal set of steel armor as well as a steel axe, when typically soldiers had to get their own armor and weapons. And so Aelfred's father, Aelfwulf, and his mother, Leofgifu, joined the army. They quickly rose in the ranks, becoming thanes after a decisive battle against the elves. Eventually, the war against the elves ended when an elven ambassador finally made it to Duvenwith and explained that the elves do not seek war, but instead seek to protect Drentheron. And so it came that Golda Queen of the dwarves and Marapo, an elven title meaning High Queen, Ril of the elves, signed a peace treaty, giving Drentheron the military protection of Utopos, which was the name of the empire of the elves. As thanes, Aelfred's parents were entitled to a plot of land in the hills, which they did not intend on using, so they gave their land to their son. He swiftly moved there, and after about a month, finally got his cottage fully built. And so there he was, drinking his utopian tea, his mother's axe by his side, when he saw a tall man in the distance, clad completely in robes, walking towards him. He gripped his axe and waited. And that is the ending of chapter 1. I should be reading chapter 2 soon. Hopefully you all like it. And I'm going to be signing off. Goodbye.